I'm not saying anything about this property because my intention has always been to build here.
So I don't understand why it matters. Like, why is she so upset?
I think that Robyn, really, when it came down to it, like, she really wanted to have a...
The million-dollar question finally asked. Why is she so upset? Oh, the audience has been screaming that at their screens for years now. But somehow, no one in the Brown world ever bothers to call out Robyn for her Oscar-winning performance of pretending to cry and playing the eternal victim. It's almost painfully obvious that she's selfish, conniving, and downright sneaky. Yet, to hide all that, she plays the heartbroken martyr, clutching her chest and wearing a woe is me mask. Enter Jen, Meri's friend, the lone outsider who actually dares to say it out loud. When Jen casually drops the bomb about the sacred covenant conversation between Kody and Robyn, and why Robyn made Kody swear he wouldn't stick around if he didn't love her anymore, I honestly had to pick my jaw up off the floor. Of course, that was the conversation that happened behind closed doors. Jen totally gets it, and thank God Meri has someone like her in her corner. Turns out, Jen is the real translator of Kody speak. If only Jen had been there for the divorce talk, too, she would have nailed it. And let's not even get started on the entire scene where Robyn's sobbing and saying, "I can't watch this, I can't watch this." It was so over the top, so dramatic, that she looked completely ridiculous. Like, is she auditioning for a role in a Lifetime movie? Jen totally hit the nail on the head when it comes to Robyn. The whole family is tiptoeing around her because, let's face it, if you say anything remotely negative about Robyn, Kody stops talking to you. He's so obsessed with keeping Robyn happy that he cut ties with his own children. Meanwhile, the wives are desperate for whatever scraps of attention and affection he'll throw their way. Don't forget, he's the keeper of the money, too. So Robyn can act as immature and ridiculous as she wants, and no one dares to call her out. But Jen? She's got no connection to Kody, so she's free to ask the hard questions. You go, Jen. When Jen pointed out how Meri is always disappointed by the others, it hit hard. Just like when Meri followed all the coronavirus rules and was still kept out. Robyn might beg Meri to stay, but she never actually hangs out with her or includes her off-camera. It's crystal clear, Robyn doesn't want to live polygamy. Just like Christine said during the last talkback, when you monopolize a man, boom, Robyn is fake through and through. We've got so much to dive into today, so let's not waste any time. Let's jump straight into it. Hey everyone, what's up? It's Elena here, and welcome back to my channel Reality Nexus X. Here's my hot take. I honestly don't believe for a second that Robyn ever wanted to be part of a plural marriage. Not for 1 minute. I think she's a big fat liar. She met Kody, who was already in a plural marriage, and thought, why not go for the whole monogamy thing and just drive off the other wives? I'm convinced that Kody, at first, truly wanted the plural marriage lifestyle. But once he realized his feelings for Robyn were, let's say, a little different than his feelings for the original 3 wives, he and Robyn cooked up a little plan. Their game? Live a monogamous life within the structure of polygamy, slowly pushing the OG wives out until they were the last ones standing. It's shady, borderline criminal even. Arizona and Nevada might not care about alienation of affection, but Utah? It's a different story, and it makes me wonder, was that the real reason they were in such a rush to get out of Utah? No wonder they're refusing to move back. Anyway, thanks for coming to my TED Talk. Here's what I think. Robyn was all in on polygamy, but only if she got to be the main character, the cute, young wife with adorable kids, all the male attention, and her older, celibate sister wives to keep her company. She'd boss them around while they helped pay her bills. It's like she finally got that manager title only to realize her employees, aka the other wives, had quit. Now she's crying about it. Classic. Let's be real. She didn't want an equal, fair relationship with the other wives. If she did, she would have integrated her life with theirs more, like, say, helping with childcare and actually sharing the load. She also would have told Kody to get off her couch and out of her bed most of the time. But nope. Turns out she was just the assistant to the regional manager all along. And don't even get me started on that whole catfish situation with Meri. I'm about 99.92% sure that Kody and Robyn set her up. After all, Lady Coyote Poop knew Jackie, aka Sam, before joining the family. Suspicious much? Here's the kicker. I think Robyn loved being part of this polygamous family, but only because Kody gave her more attention than he ever gave the OG wives. She loved feeling special, prettier, younger, sexier, and superior to the others. But now that it's just her and Kody, she's miserable because there's no one left to feel superior to. Now she's stuck with a guy she probably doesn't even want to be with anymore. Let's be honest, Kody fell for her because she was young, cute, and totally willing to cater to his fragile, insecure ego. She made him feel like the king of the world, but now she's realizing she's just another wife in a family that's falling apart. I also think Robyn definitely wanted to be the top wife, the one who ruled the others, kept them in check, and had them basically serving her and Kody. She acts like she's this righteous, godlike figure who everyone else should worship and accept as their superior. She and Kody clearly think they're doing the other wives a huge favor by allowing them to exist in their presence, but equality? Nah, that was never part of the plan. Ho, Kody, I really feel for the whole family because, no one can really be blamed for this whole disaster, right? But seriously, I hope this somehow smacks Kody in the face with a wake-up call, reminding him that, shocker, he has a lot of children and grandchildren, whether they're minors or not, and they all deserve his love, attention, and, the bare minimum of time from their dad. Your kids should always come first, Kody. Always. Hopefully, this grief will bring the family closer together instead of driving a bigger wedge between them. Wouldn't that be a plot twist? But here's the cherry on top for me. That dinner at Garrison's house. Kody's sitting there, talking to Janelle and Christine like, we're grown adults. We don't need our dad. Oh, really? Because that sounds like a super defensive stance. Newsflash. He needed his dad, and worse, he wanted his dad. You could practically hear the desperate, sad little plea between the lines of his tough guy act. Classic Kody, trying to look strong when all you see is disappointment and a heart full of I'm so pathetic, why won't anyone love me? And let's not mince words here, Kody's a trash dad to most of his adult children. Most? But hey, maybe, just maybe, this will finally be the moment he wakes up and decides to fix those broken relationships, assuming the kids even want that. And that's a big if. Is it really in anyone's best interest to have Kody around? Probably not. Honestly, not having a father is way less damaging than having one who actively hurts you. Just ask Maddie, who made the obvious choice to keep him away from her kids. Those reasons aren't magically disappearing just because the cameras are rolling. But then again, narcissists finna narc. If Kody even bothers to try, it'll be on his terms, his feelings, his needs. Don't expect him to ever humble himself enough to meet the actual needs of his kids. Instead, he'll likely just tick the box with some cringeworthy I reached out interview, because that's how real relationships work, right? And then, of course, there's the iconic I have a house. They can come to my house moment when Garrison invited him over. Absolute gold. But let's be real, I'm betting Kody won't change one bit after all this. If they keep filming, because, rumors, I can already hear him in a talking head interview whining. If only he'd reached out to me, or if only Janelle hadn't talked about me and Robyn to the kids, things would have been different. He'll find a way to blame everyone else and conveniently forget that he's the problem. Never his fault, always everyone else's. Robyn's version of the Cinderella story didn't quite turn out how she expected. She probably came into the family thinking she'd be the underdog that everyone roots for. The poor, single mom escaping an abusive marriage who finds her prince while enduring the judgment of those wicked sister wives. I'm sure Kody painted a rosy picture, assuring her the audience would love her the same way he did. Instead, she ended up playing the role of the wicked stepmother. Far from a Disney fairy tale, her reality felt more like something out of the Brothers Grimm. The problem was that all the other wives were basically in the same boat, poor single moms just trying to make it until the show started paying the bills. Robyn seems to have built this fantasy life in her head, one that doesn't seem to match the reality she finds herself in. And when reality doesn't live up to her expectations, she's left confused and traumatized. Then there's the boredom factor. It's impossible not to notice it, especially since she constantly plays the victim, crying over things that aren't happening or things that have nothing to do with her. Honestly, she's just so boring. The other wives and their kids are full of life, funny, animated, and engaging. Robyn, dull as dishwater. Can anyone recall a single joke or clever remark from her? And not by accident, like her "I for Wyoming" moment. I mean, a real, intentional joke. Or a time she actually rallied the group for some fun or planned something to liven up the day. It'd be impossible to be friends with her. It's like being forced to hang out with the kid of your parents' friend who has nothing to offer. And no matter how hard you try to make it work, you know they're just going to run to their parents and complain about how mean you were. And then you get dragged into apologizing. At the heart of it, Robyn's goal seems to be about proving something to herself, to her mother, and to everyone who ever doubted her. She doesn't want to be the invisible wife and kid, the family that gets overlooked. She's stuck in a loop, replaying her childhood trauma, and it's hard to miss how much it affects her daughters too. She aimed high, marrying into the infamous TV polygamy family, probably hoping all the people who ever made her feel small would see her win. But it's starting to look like the fairy tale she envisioned never stood a chance. Practically on my deathbed, Robyn said about her experience with coronavirus, and my jaw literally hit the floor. Sure, these two are known for their over-the-top dramatics, so I probably shouldn't have been shocked, but seriously? Wow, talk about tone-deaf. People lost loved ones, grieved in isolation, and had their leaves appended. I mean, yeah, I lost 2 family members and was also the primary caregiver for my dad, who had a kidney transplant just 3 months before the lockdowns in NJ. So not only was he immunosuppressed to prevent organ rejection, but he also had to go in for doctor visits and blood work at least once a week. Plus, he was getting home care infusions, all during the coronavirus lockdowns. And guess who was his full-time caregiver? Me. Oh, and because of his condition, we couldn't even attend his mother's funeral. So when Kody and Robyn start their ridiculous drama about having coronavirus, I'm not exactly feeling sympathy. Honestly, I just want to punch them in the mouth at this point. Robyn didn't even need oxygen, and Kody barely had a fever. But somehow, they were half dead. Sure, whatever. The whole scene of Robyn in the hospital with her hoodie pulled up looking like a pilgrim was just laughable. What a pair of dramatic clowns. Honestly, I can't blame Gwen and Christine for laughing. These two are a joke. It's beyond disrespectful to anyone who actually suffered severe coronavirus symptoms, was intubated, hospitalized, dealt with lasting effects, or, God forbid, lost someone they loved. David and Christine's family is going through unimaginable grief right now, especially with the loss of Garrison. It's gut-wrenching just trying to wrap your head around the pain they must be feeling. And then, I remembered that David had already suffered such a deep loss when his first wife died by suicide. This has to be hitting him hard all over again, reopening old wounds he might not have even realized were still there. But if anyone can navigate this with empathy, it's David. I'm sure he's doing his best to support Christine, and honestly, with his history, he probably has a lot of patience and understanding to offer right now. But let's not forget, This is a tough time for their kids too. The whole family must be reeling. David's got to be struggling to hold it all together, but I imagine he's leaning on Christine and doing what he can to be there for her and for his own kids. It's just so heartbreaking. You can bet Christine's been doing the same, supporting David and even reaching out to his kids. She must be trying to show them as much love and comfort as she can. But still, it's devastating for everyone involved. I really felt for them when they first announced it. You just can't imagine the heartbreak they're all going through. What is wrong with Kody? I've been catching up on the show while recovering from surgery, and I thought I had a decent understanding of him from all the articles and gossip. I figured the stuff I read was probably exaggerated for the drama, but no, wow, I'm only at the point where Christine is leaving, and I'm legit on the verge of tears every episode. He treats everyone like absolute garbage. After every single episode, I just want to reach through the screen and shake some sense into him. I haven't watched in a few years, but I always thought Kody was a bit full of himself. But what I'm seeing now, this is a whole new level of awful. It makes me wonder, honestly, what's going on with his mental health. It's not like I have some deep theory to share. I'm just in shock after binge-watching the last few days. Here's the thing, Kody's been through a lot. His brother passing suddenly, his dad dying, and truly being in the hospital fighting for her life. It took a huge toll on him. It's like that fragile, barely functional facade he built up just started crumbling. Let's not forget, Kody hit middle age. Now, most people don't ditch 3 wives and 13 kids in their midlife crisis. But I guess the youthful idealism wasn't enough to keep up the charade. And then there's the whole daddy issues thing. Kody has said as much himself. With his dad gone, it looks like he finally realized he got into polygamy mainly because of his father's influence. The responsible thing to do, obviously, would have been to stick around until the kids were grown and then maybe move on. But we're talking about Kody here, selfish as ever. As he said about Junel's mom and his own dad, 20 years wasn't enough. He had that with Robyn, and clearly, he didn't want to miss out on any of it. Honestly, at this point, Kody's just a narcissist. If he isn't getting the constant admiration and attention he feels he deserves, he treats everyone like crap, gaslighting them, acting superior, and essentially turning his back on anyone who doesn't worship him. The guy really needs some serious therapy. Let me know what you think in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button and subscribe to my channel. I'll see you in the next video. Take care and much love to you all.